rest of the time in the house, we have never had pinholes, never. What I remember plumbers coming to my house for were clogged drains and stuffed toilets that overflowed into the bathroom. So now I'm in the house with my family. I started with pinhole leaks last year. I called a plumber, and then I called several others because I wanted to get estimates for repair work. I fixed it. That was the end of it. Come the new year, I started having new pinhole leaks. I called the same plumber. And then, while he was there, some pinholes sprung open in other pipes while he was there. So I decided to go on Plainview Moms instead of my own Facebook page, which is really not just Lower Plainview page, and ask other moms, was this going on in yours? Is anybody experiencing this? And within not even 20 minutes, that post had a thread that was just going and going and going. Everybody had pinhole leaks, and I thought to myself, well, I need to ask when your pinhole leak started, because I think that's important to know.
Dad's has a group too.
And the responses that I got were all within this year. That's for the ones that I collected so far. They're all within this year, all within the same time frame.
2016?
2016. I called the water district
2 years.
and
in the last few.
well, my first time calling the water district was for the backflow device. I did not receive any notices, I received the final notice. The final notice told me if I did not have the backflow put in by December 31st of 2015, I would be fined $150. I didn't know what a backflow device was. I went back to Plainview Moms and I said, does anybody know what this is? And then the whole thread went on that and it went into a big frenzy. For me, when that letter came, it was already towards the end of fall. And I was told that I needed someone to come see if I had one, since I didn't even know what it was. I called the water district, I do not remember his name. He came to my house, he said, he opened the meter. He said, you do not have one, and I need to see in your basement where the timer is for the underground sprinklers. Came downstairs, he said, you do not have one, so obviously we were out of compliance. I called a bunch of sprinkler services because the guy who put them in was no longer working. And what I was told was, we cannot get the part that you need by the time that you need it. And I said, well, they're gonna fine me $150, and maybe for some that's not a lot of money, but for me it is. And so I went back on Plainview Moms and I said, well, I can't find anybody that has this device. And the thread went, nobody could find anyone, and a lot of the sprinkler guys were saying that it's the end of the season and they're not even working anymore. Really, they went past their time. And so what I recommended on Plainview Moms was for everyone to call in and ask for an extension, because this was the first that I had ever heard of backflow devices in all my years living in the house. I had to cut and cap the line because I couldn't afford the price of the backflow device. That's that issue. The pinhole leaks, as I started questioning moms and asking them their addresses, and I have full pages and pages of addresses, I started asking them to drop bills to my house, because I'm just curious, how much are people spending? I know how much I was spending in my house. I would get repairs done, and then I didn't know that there were more pinholes, because you can't hear them. We went in our basement, and there was like spots of water all over. So we had to like look around and see where it was, and all the pipes were discolored, they were green. And then in those pipes were just different pinholes. So I called the plumber back, and he said, you're not gonna believe this, but from the last time I was at your house, which was only like 6 weeks ago, I can't tell you how many homes I've been to and Plainview over the page. So I asked him if he thought there was something going on. Because I can't understand how all of a sudden, everybody's getting pinhole leaks. I can understand through the years, 1 here, 3 there, you know, but to have so much and then to find out and see pictures that people were sending to me of the damage in their home, I couldn't believe it. Now I believe it because my house is destroyed by the pinholes. I'm in there with my elderly mom who I take care of. I'm in there with my 16-year-old triplets and my dogs. I won't drink the water anymore. There are times that I turn the tap on and it smells like a swimming pool. There are times that I'm showering and I feel like I'm in a swimming pool. That's the exact smell of a swimming pool.
Yes.
I started to look at the pipes
This is
when
crazy.
the plumber would take them down, and I noticed
Our very own
some
Aaron
kind of residue
Brockovich
on the
here.
inside of the pipe. I just left it and I let him go down. Now that I have a bathroom that's been completely destroyed, all
Across
the
from
2
Fairway.
walls and the shower wall, the entire floor.
The same one.
Under the floor, I have a crawl space. The people that lived in that home when it was built extended my house by 4 feet, which created a crawl space. So when I hired a contractor, when he came in and went down into the crawl space, you could stand in it. It was filled with water, and he had his flashlight, and he said, "You just can't believe what's going on down here." And just little sprays,
How bad
little
is
sprays
this
here
for
and
you?
there, and he was standing in a swimming pool of water. The concern for me was that the fact that you can't hear them, and they're in there, you don't know how long they're in there. So we laid petri dishes down in different areas of the house, and I wanted to see, you know, what was going on. I'm not gonna open it up. I have 4 here, I have 4 more at home. These started to grow, I guess this is all mold, started to grow this within an hour
Same water from
that I
us?
put samples in. Usually it's like at least an overnight thing that it will start going. And then I started thinking about my kids and how sick they've been since they were 4, 5, 6, and how it still continues now, and how sick I am, and how I'm getting diagnosed with all these weird autoimmune diseases. And then I asked on Plainview Moms, and they post these other weird autoimmune diseases. My concern is what is going on with the pipes. I do not believe that it's the age of the pipes, because I have neighbors whose homes were just put up last year, brand new mansions, and they have pinhole leaks, and they're tearing their homes apart to fix them. These were all the bills that these are not all the bills that I collected, these are the ones that I carried here, just to show you.
And that's the proof right there.
These are all my
Proof in the
bills
pudding.
so far. I am pretty much bankrupt over trying to fix these pinholes. I have 3 kids that are gonna start college in 2 years. I'm not gonna have any money for them. The amount of these bills is astronomical. So I need for all of you to accept responsibility as representatives of the water district and figure out what's going on. It cannot be a coincidence that this is happening to everybody at the same time. Something must be going on. And it has to be looked into, and it has to be figured out. And I think that the public needs to know what's going on every step of the way. I don't think this is fair for, I'd like to know, I understand you have pinholes in your own homes.
Yeah.
But how many of you went to those 15 homeowners that you have listed about pinholes and went to look at it yourself?
No, well, we've sent.
I don't drive around in the truck. I mean, I have a day job, I sit on the board, I devote a lot of time to, concerns of residents such as yourself, and, understand that we're not doing the work, we're not engineers, we don't have training in this, but our superintendent, I think, can probably best address that question.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to look at the records and see how many of those 15 homes we actually went out. There were homes that people called in. They spoke to one of the plant operators, and either they didn't want somebody to come out, or they were satisfied with the answer, so I had to look into those 15 homes and see how many physically visited.
I know out of the list that I have, I've been to a lot of these homes. I thought the extent of my damage was bad. I have a girlfriend now who the insurance company has removed the family from the home and put them in the Marriott Hotel because they had to tear up the entire basement, walls leading up to the next floor, and the bathroom upstairs. She's a disaster. And then what happened, because that's an older home, was there's asbestos in it. And so her and her young children are exposed to asbestos. And the insurance company came and went through the house and said, you cannot stay here. And the workers are now there in hazmat suits. My workers show up to my house in hazmat suits. And I know that my asbestos was rectified. It's not there anymore. There's something wrong in the water. And I am afraid for what it's doing to us. Not only to drink it, but even to bathe in it, to touch it. I'm just really afraid. And
That's
on
what
top
you
of
know,
it, to
you don't know
have
what's
all these
happening in
different kinds of molds, and I'm gonna have these sent out. I want to identify exactly what it is. You know, so it's not just a pinhole issue. The pinhole issue leads to other issues. And it goes on and on and on. And I just feel like, you know, I heard you saying you're gonna reach out to PSEG. That should have been done a long time ago. There were already people calling in before I put that post